don't. It's like I kind of feel like grandmother now. Like, who are you? So I've been racing since 2010, I think, when I started.
Yeah. It's those of us who've been around for a minute, kind of racing.
Oh, no.
It's interesting to see how the sport has changed, and how a few years ago we were talking about very kind of large Pacific paddle games, kind of events. And I think that the tide has shifted a bit, and it's more towards more frequent, more focused events that are part of a series, which we don't really have out in California here.
Right.
But other places in the country, we're in the Midwest, in the South, in Florida, there are series that are running, and you're doing points towards the series.
That is when you were asking me about what went through my head. One of the things is that I'm up in the Bay Area, so we've got the Battle of the Bay, we have the Sea Trek race, we have Mike's Paddle has some. You guys, I'm not sure actually if you have any races now, but not anymore. But there's quite a smushed bunch of them in the fall. Although Paddle Splash, that's earlier. But if they could all be a series and be part of working towards coming here, I think that would be great.
Well, certainly we do have national rankings now on the USA SUP website. This last year it was open to everyone, but we will start only doing it for members here in the future. So there's a little plug to go ahead and either sign up for USA SUP or renew your membership. We are trying to do something meaningful here and make this more than individual races.
Crashed, but we're now back on Facebook and YouTube. So let's give a YouTube shout out.
Welcome. We've got Facebook and YouTube. By the way, we've got a green flag at the finish line for our open male sprints Heat 1. Bo Widener, Jeremy Coco, Bill Van Huey, Dave Bean, Bodie Van Almen, Mike Wang, who isn't here, he has COVID, and Jeremy Nicholson.
Dave Bainey.
I can't. I remember that. The guy's like only the most famous guy in all of paddleboarding surfing.
Not.
And I can't say his name. Dave.
Just.
Bainey.
I'm an Infinity fanboy.
all right. We've got Infinity fanboys kind of in the house. It's kind of funny, like paddlers align themselves, to brands and really kind of like own their relationship with the stuff that they paddle.
I just didn't want to correct you on live camera, and
please do
in front of thousands.
in front of tens of people.
Hey, so we got like 100 people.
All right. We are green flag at the finish line. We do see, and we're off. Men's Open Heat 1. That should be one of the more competitive features that we have.
Lane 3.
Lane 3 is in the lead, which should be Phil Van Huey.
I believe he had to scratch.
That's
Bodie. Yeah, we've got Bodie on the NSP. Now I can see that it's an NSP, and Bodie is just cranking. He's a considerable way out ahead of the field.
Just checking in, making sure.
Dave Bainey's up getting closer too.
Dave Bainey making a push towards the end.
Let's go, Dave!
Woohoo! I love seeing the different stroke rates here. Now look how powerful those two men are. Not that there's a better one, but sometimes it's a really fast stroke cadence. But I think Bodie and Dave both have
closer.
Both have longer strokes, longer cadences. And we've got Bodie taking the lead, Dave in second. And I think that's Jeremy Nicholson from Iowa there coming in third. Yeah, that is. Jeremy Nicholson from Clear Lake, Iowa here in third. So
Bodie took first, or Dave?
Bodie took first.
Wow, he is a monster.
Dave took second.
Dave Bainey second. Yep.
Yeah, and
inflatable,
somebody out here on an inflatable, but that's okay, right? I mean, we're all here for the camaraderie and the fun of it, and it doesn't really matter, what you paddle or if necessarily it's like the fastest thing. Of course, if you want to be up there with the fast guys, you gotta have a fast board, but to have the experience, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You do have to get here, you do have to sign up, but be part of the experience. I think that's
True.
you know a big part of the whole thing.
Thanks for doing the commentary, and Kristen and crew, really thank you for everything. And then there's those that show up.
I guess.
The NSP, the Infinity 404.
SIC.
To really help, yeah. What was the other one?
SIC.
Oh, SIC. Excuse me. How could I miss that?
Yeah, looking down the beach here, it's
awesome. Thank you.
yeah,
Guys.
lots
Yeah.
of manufacturer support. You know, lots of people paddling their brands and hanging out with their crew and their people, and it's just great to see.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna go.
All right, thanks Jen Fuller for joining
I
us in the
gotta
commentary booth.
Hydrate so I can stay ahead of Kristen.
So we're killing time
Harrison,
here.
you have a heat coming up. When's your heat?
I do have a heat coming up. It's I still have a couple heats before I have to
Okay.
excuse myself here. But we're gearing up for heat 2 of the Open Men. Dan Miller, fast guy. Paul Pianowski, anchor, Something, Jig Graham, fast guy. Danny Ching, Ethan Huff, Dennis Gibson. Dennis is a great guy, and another Midwesterner, Troy Hendricks. I'm going to be a little biased in my announcing here today because
You are allowed to be.
You know, I'm a little proud.
He's from Michigan and Ohio.
Yeah, Troy is
I know
is
he
a
lives
Michigan native, but
yeah.
he lives in Ohio
Ohio.
now. Those of us who live in Michigan have a natural disdain
That's
for
Grant.
Ohio.
Cooper walking by behind us.
Grant Cooper in
Sorry.
and out of frame.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if you must not follow Dr. Dan Miller. He's actually here in California, but he had to bail out.
Oh,
He had a accident with a pressure cooker.
oh no.
It blew up on him. He has 2nd and 3rd degree burns all across here, and so he can't get wet. So he said, I have Vaseline and Saran wrap basically on my body. Ugh, that's
Well,
not
Dan,
normal.
if you're joining us here on the live stream, we are missing you, and we do hope you feel better soon. And for those of us here on the beach, send healing thoughts to Dan and his unfortunate accident, and hope that he heals up and gets better soon. Our thoughts are with you, Dan.
Why don't we give them that monopod?
Yeah, where's the monopod?
Hey, so we
Can you
do have
give
some
us
great
the-
sponsors, and I'm all about the sustainability thing. So we're it's our first try here, but we're trying to work towards we have a
And
binocular.
we have a monocular, so maybe we can see. I
love
bet you I
it.
look
You have
good
to
with
take
this.
the cover off of it, though. Dang.
I wish I could just like have one that I could just like squeeze and hold in my eye, and then I could have a pipe.
Yeah.
You know.
But this is a last minute one that I wanted to give a shout out to because we wanted people to bring their own water containers and coffee containers so that they're reusable things. So we decided a really good thing to have in the swag bag, the goodie bag, would be a aluminum water bottle because these reseal. So if they traveled and forgot their water bottle or have not graduated to carrying your water bottle everywhere you go, the Mananalu water, which happens to be a Jason Momoa company, you know, Aquaman. Or, well, Game of Thrones is where I remember him from most, yeah. But hopefully people will reuse these because we also have Gnarly Nutrition that gave us hydration and then a bunch of sample packets that are in their goodie bags. So we have raspberry electrolyte hydration as well as water refill stations. So hoping this is the kind of thing, it's not like we created it, but that people do in other places too. Really trying to, I know you water people pick up plastic all the time. That's what we find in the ocean. That's what we find all over the place. It's one of the really insidious types of trash. So let's move towards reusable things. How do they look down there on your
All right, they look like they're getting
monocle?
they're getting lined up here. Looks like they're getting ready for a start. We don't have a green flag here at the finish yet, though, so I don't know that they're really quite ready to go. But why don't you go ahead and read off our lineup again for us, Kristen?
All right. So because Dan Miller, I don't know if they gave him lane 1 or not. Some of these scratches weren't, or DNS is what it will show, did not start. But lane 1 was going to be Dan Miller. He's not there. Next lane, Paul Pianowski. So he's who we will see closest to us on the beach. Ankur Samtani, Jake Graham, Danny Ching, Ethan Huff, Dennis Gibson, and Troy Hendricks. Both of those heats are really strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you talked a little bit about the progression system? So,
Oh, I really haven't.
Okay.
But you know, we're following a traditional kind of ladder, quarterfinal to final
we need to put,
structure, right?
we made a QR code that we have all over the place here and trying to get people on their phones to go to live heats. If you go to, is it live heats? I don't think it's .com. It's an Australian company. Anyways, live heats is a great timing system that does progressions. They're often, if you've ever been in a surf contest or APP uses it. The one we are using is an ICF one where the first and second person in these heats, when there's more than one heat, automatically go to the finals, and then the third through sixth will be having what we're calling a semifinal. In surfing they call it a repechage heat, another chance to get into the first final, the top final.
I would say we're looking pretty ready down there. And see some paddlers kind of bracing, and everyone's facing the right direction. And we have a green flag at the finish. Looks like we're about ready to start.
If you listen really carefully, maybe you'll hear the horn.
The only person I can recognize from our vantage point is Troy Hendricks, because he's from the Midwest and he's not wearing a shirt. So he's kind of basically glow in the dark. And they're off.
Woo!
So I know we've got some Midwest people here on the live feed, so you know, the glow in the dark guy is Troy.
So you're about to do your heat. Do you see yourself out there like are you a fast paddle cadence person, or?
I have done exactly one sprint race before this, so I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
And the board that I'm paddling here today, I've paddled for a grand total of 10 minutes. So
Well, this is cool. This is quite close.
this looks very
definitely
close.
looks like Danny Ching.
Yeah, it
out
looks
in
like
front.
Danny out in front.
But the second place is, from our vantage at least, looks like I would say all three of them. That's
Yeah.
Jake Graham. Ethan Huff lives in Baja. He's an American living down there, and so he hasn't raced against us.
Looks like
ooh.
Danny is taking a commanding win here. But
Oh, and then here's Paul right here.
you know,
Oh my gosh.
the battle for second. So we've got Danny. I don't.
It's either Jake or Paul, and then that was Ethan, and then that's Dennis on the outside. Woo! Nice work. Who was second from
Nice job.
you?
That was
I
great.
think it was
Vantage point.
the All-Star and I think the All-Star was second.
Yeah, so that's Jake Graham, part of our race committee.
We'll have to wait for the official results, but looks like Jake.
Woo! Good job, Anchor.
That's Jeremy Nicholson, who got third in his heat.
Sneaking in the live feed.
Sneaking in the live feed.
Also,
You know,
with his
while you were
shirt
out
off.
for your heat, I told people that if they crash the live stream, they will be interviewed.
Oh,
So,
I got. Did you want to come sit down and get the interview?
yeah. Come on over here, Jeremy.
We've been
No,
talking
you
about
don't.
you.
Breathe in it.
I don't know what to do with my hands. He gets it.
All right, yeah, we are in California. It doesn't mean
Absolutely.
So, Jeremy Nicholson, third in your heat. What was that like for you?
I didn't look up, so I figured Bodie and Dave were pretty far out there, so just try not to run into somebody else and get disqualified.
All right.
Yeah, I was stoked on way with third.
Did you know that you kind of have a sense of where you were at? In the
Once
line while you were out
I
there?
passed the line, because I paddled on facing that way to finish, so when I finished I had to look back across to see, since I was on the far side. I was like, I think I got third.
How much experience do you have
Go for it,
doing
yeah.
sprint races like that?
It's hovering
None.
right at
I
the
just,
line.
ever since
Okay.
I started paddling, I favor, especially with having kids, it's like, if I'm going to go for a long paddle, I'd rather just go for a bunch of sprint intervals and get a good workout. So it's been a long time coming. I've been waiting to sprint, but it hurts a lot more.
Yeah. Is it something you
Levi.
think that you want to do some more of?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd rather suffer for a minute than an hour tomorrow on the 10K.
That's all good. What's up?
But
Okay.
I know it's personal preference.
All right. And you're also a race
I have no
organizer in Iowa, right?
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
I helped run the Paddle Fest this year with the Clear Lake JC's organization. So, yeah, a little bit, but not to the level that this is, or most people.
I'm
do.
good
I'm
for
just
now.
happy to try to build a community where I live.
Yeah. And Clear Lake, Iowa is how far from something else?
It's 2 hours either north or south from Des Moines or Minneapolis, so we're right in between.
All right. So Clear Lake Paddle Fest for those of you looking to do a race kind of in the true Midwest. I mean, we call the Midwest or the North Central region here for USA SUP, but the true Midwest is
Yeah, tater tot casserole when you finish.
tater tot.
Or hot dish, I forget. I'm not originally from
Does that come with a side of ranch?
Oh, absolutely.
Everything comes with a side of ranch.
Yeah, it does.
All right. So, what have you seen here so far this weekend that you think you might like to see in local races and other stuff that you go to across the country?
It's this first event I've actually been to that's just paddle boards. All the races, probably like you do it's canoe, kayak, and paddle board. So it's always fun to have different things to paddle along with.
Right.
And so this is fun because it's only paddle boards, obviously, but it's definitely the community. I mean, I built that from originally being from Florida and having a surfing community to where I think if I can work on building that in Clear Lake to have people on the water, whether it's canoe, kayak, paddleboard, surf ski, whatever, it's like people seem to have a better connection when they're in the water versus sitting on a boat or something.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for Men's Open Heat 2. Unfortunately, Kristen walked away with my heat sheet. So, Kristen Thomas, if you want to bring the heat sheet back, that would be, really pretty helpful. So those of you joining us here online, you're joining us for the USA SUP National Championships. We're about to do Men's Open Heat 2. And here joined by Jeremy Nicholson. Tell you what, if you're watching online, Facebook Live probably is an easier way to do it. But if you have any questions for us or questions for Jeremy, go ahead and put it in chat. And see if we can't get him answered for you. Oh, maybe. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so sorry, we just finished, Heat 2. So we're going to Masters Heat 1, Masters Heat 1, which is 50 plus. A couple folks I'm familiar with, in this heat. We've got Pete Govan, Sean Tierney, Zhai Zhang, Marcus Pizzetta. I haven't seen him around yet today. Rich D'Souza, who's part of our race organization crew here today. Adrian Engel from Ohio. I haven't seen Adrian here yet today. Adrian puts on the Ohio River Paddle Fest, which is a 13-mile race in Ohio, in between Covington and Cincinnati, the Ohio River. It's actually the only race that I know of that they closed down a commercial waterway for. The Ohio River is a very active barge, kind of thoroughfare. So it's the equivalent of shutting down like the Mississippi River for a race, and they get it closed down, for half a day. The long race is called the Seven Bridges race because you cross under 7 bridges, including the I-75 bridge. That the I-75 goes, from north and northern Michigan all the way down to Florida Keys.
Right. That's awesome.
Ohio River Paddle Fest, Adrian Engel, Sean Arnold, who I met a few years ago at a race in Florida. I know he's relatively local around here, but has been kind of one of my friends and guys that loans me boards when I come out to race here in California on the occasion that I get to do that. Great guy. So Masters 50 plus. We're gonna have 2 heats of the Masters, and I'm in the second one. So I will probably.
He's warming up right now.
I probably, once this race, starts.
Okay,
probably
you start the race and
to,
then I will jump in.
Start, my whole warm up there.
Oh, and then press the button and press it twice and hold the second time to turn it on.
Looks like it's shaping up to be a beautiful day here. It is just a little chilly here right now in the shade, but I think we're going to have some mid-70s temps and
Better than at home, isn't it?
hopefully be warm enough that I'm not so scared to fall out.
It's
Yeah,
not bad.
certainly
Better than Michigan.
for Jeremy and I, like I was sharing earlier in this live cast, that I paddled twice this week, Monday and Tuesday. Both days I wore a dry suit.
Yeah, amen. Booties and gloves.
And 8mm boots.
8 mil? Oh my god. In Chicago?
Can you
No,
feel
I'm
anything?
from Michigan, and it was in the 30s.
I thought 2mm was enough, but
It wasn't this last week, but the week before I actually paddled in the snow. It was snowing.
already.
Looks like we are getting lined up. We've got a green flag at the finish, which means that Men's Masters Heat 1 is getting ready to go. Pete Gobbin, Shotton Tierney, Ji Zhang, Marcus Pizzetta, Rich D'Souza, Adrian Engel, Sean Arnold. Once again, though, I haven't seen a couple of those guys here, so we might have some scratches in this race.
Press the green red button.
When it starts?
Yeah, when they start, and then press it when they end. But it's live streamed now, so sorry, it's trial by fire.
Oh, and it looks like we're off. Or is that just somebody warming up? I can't actually
A little
tell.
bit ahead.
No, they're going.
All right, we're going. We're going.
Looks like it's a small heat. 4 people. So we must have some starts.
KT, come on over here. Take over for this. I gotta hit the water. All right, thanks on Facebook Land. I'll be back in just a few minutes after I do my race.
Like the link is blocked.
Thanks for the interview, Gary.
Sorry, I took
Yep.
your names. Woohoo! Here we go.
Yeah,
This is Heat
that-
1, right?
I forgot to mute that.
This is Men's Masters.
So it's
Yeah.
Men's Masters Heat 1.
So we got Pete Gavin there on the 404, blue long sleeve shirt, super strong NorCal paddler. And next to him,
I
Sean
don't
Tierney,
know,
also
but
on a
2 were
404.
dead this morning.
He's local
I
here.
haven't bothered all
And
night.
Pacific
I mean, I feel like it was pulling from something
Wellness,
else then.
one of our big sponsors, next to
Sure.
him. I'm not sure who. Oh, that's Rich D'Souza. And then Sean Arnold. So we definitely had some DNSs on that one before. Woo! Nice work, guys.
Huh? Yeah.
Who was the second place, would you say? That's pretty close.
Well.
Yeah. So those were all Californians, but Pete's from NorCal, so the other
We're
three
gonna,
guys
we're
are
gonna
not,
run out of batteries.
aren't usually
We're
racing
only
against
worth
him.
45% now, so.
2 of our 3 Seans, we get confused a lot down here. We have these 3 great guys, all named Sean.
Ours.
All right, and there goes Harrison, getting in his warm up. So that was heat 1 of 2. So this is considered a quarterfinal, since there are 2 heats. And again, the first and second in each of this heat we just saw, and the next one will automatically go to the final heat. But in between the quarterfinals, there's a semifinal that will allow 3rd place through 6th to have another go at it to decide who is going to be in that final. Let's see who we got in heat
This
2.
is charging.
John Hansen, David Wells, Harrison Withers. Oh wow, Harrison, you're really cutting it close. Bill McGrath, Jörg Gazer, and Ivan Stork. So we've got Northwest, Southwest, and North Central. So 3 different regions represented in this race, if everybody's showing up. You do have some people who did sign up for the trio of races and then couldn't get here in time. Like Adrian is coming in, I know, today and will be in the other races. I'm not sure, I don't have the check-in sheet. Not sure if John Hansen is here or not. Okay, I'm going to try to find the live on Facebook. See if this is working. I guess it wasn't working earlier. If you're just joining us, this is USA SUP National Championships. It's our first, and we are excited to be in Long Beach, California. The venue behind me is Marine Stadium. This was built for the Olympics for rowing in 32. They're actually 1932. They are redoing the other end of it right now, getting ready for the LA 28 Olympics, where I know it will be a rowing venue, hopefully kayak and canoe also. Looks like we have a little buoy movement, or buoy, as I have been told you're supposed to say it by an Aussie. I think it's funny that we say buoys. Very telling of our sport, kind of, that we have 50 plus and 60 plus are some of the biggest categories often. It's not a bad thing.
I think that charger is slow.
I hope to be able to paddle my whole life. It's not an impact sport. As long as the shoulders keep working. An interesting thing about stand-up paddling that those people watching probably already know is that we have like 90% of the people on stand-up paddleboards are recreational paddleboarders. So recreational paddleboarders, we would love you to come to a race. It's a great community. It's funny, some people want to call it just an event instead of a race because they think racing is intimidating. We did got some feedback that even the name of this event was intimidating, even though everyone was welcome to this. Calling it a national championship really scared people. But our new 501c3 nonprofit USA SUP is formed as the national governing body of sport, and that's one of the ways a sports organization can be a nonprofit. Great, still trying to get, I thought I was good at multitasking. Trying to see if this live feed is on. I think it should be, you should be finding this on USA SUP Facebook and USA SUP YouTube also. We got everything running. Looks like they're kind of lining them up.
I mean,
you can see Harrison. It is funny that the guys from the north have their shirts off, and I think it's still chilly. There we go. Is that Kristen Thomas? I'm saying it's exciting.
I could have sworn I already did that.
Okay. Now I can see what we look like. So we don't. That's cool. I like what these guys behind me. That we've got a great media team that Mike Wong kind of brought down. Levi and Alex and Eunice. Great. Haven't met you yet. Nice to meet you. Flying drone, doing a bunch of media stuff. Shout out to my buddy Tom Hazelton, who shared his PA system. So we have two nice speakers. It gets lots of use. Last weekend it was used at a wedding of a paddler. Congratulations, Jason and Allie Murphy. Then they have a still camera too. Anyway, cool stuff going on. Again, our first attempt at a lot of things, putting on an event from scratch, especially when our entire board don't live in this city. Doing the live feed. Results and heats and the progression system, we're using something new called Live Heats. Shout out to them, sponsor. They're really interested in stand-up paddleboarding and how it works and getting into it. They come out of Australia, so if you know the whole lifeguard racing like sprint life saving, I think it's called. That almost everybody there grows up in that. That is where they originated. Surf contests use them a lot. Our series that the APP puts on has used them because whenever you have numerous heats for anything, having a progression system that automatically populates after you set it up into the next heat. So we'll try to get that link up because even if you're not here, you might be interested in seeing how it works. And once the results are in, between each of these heats, those results go in, and then it will be putting, based on the results, first and second straight to the finals, and the rest into a semifinal, and they will know what time their next heat is this morning. So the skiff is crossing, so hopefully that means everybody's still okay. Maybe they're just checking in with the start.
Yeah.
We don't have the green flag yet, but we're getting close to when this heat should be going.
Oh.
I should be looking behind me and I can identify who's paddling by. Thanks, Bob Blair, our most recent sponsor. Jumped in a little late, couldn't make it all the way out here from the East Coast, but really appreciate Speedboard USA supporting us with a sponsorship. And get that logo up on the website. Ray Strickland, yes, this is me. Kristen Thomas.
Okay. We're just going to use the DSLR, and you got to monitor it.
Trying to find somebody to grab to talk here. I want Ethan Huff has an interesting story. We got to bring him over at the top. So the green flag is up. Start should be at any time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have 6. So cool. Everybody here then. Lane 1, John Hansen. Lane 2, David Wells. 101 Sports in the Bay Area. There we go. We're off. Lane 3, Harrison Withers, who has been the commentator this morning. Lane 4, Bill McGrath on the starboard. Jörg Geiser on the Infinity. And Ivan Stork from the Northwest. Fun to have. We have quite a few Pacific Northwest folks down. I think both John and Ivan on the outside lanes are from the Pacific Northwest. I believe they're Seattle racers. The Ballard Elks Club is a strong program up there, even if they call their races fake races. Wow, close one. It's so hard from this angle to see if sprints can be deceiving. But I would say we have 3 people vying. David Wells on the Infinity of the Yellow Stripe. I think that might be coming across first. And then a tight race with Bill McGrath and Jörg Geiser. And it looks like Bill for second, Jürgen third. Ivan, John, and Harrison. Woo! Great work, guys! Woo! Ethan! I'm calling over Ethan Huff because I think he has such an interesting story, and it's so fun to see how speedy he is.
Speedy.
So I see this young man on YouTube. He makes some incredible videos and training, and you live down in Baja, and you're kind of doing this sort of on your own down there.
Yeah, down in Baja, just me paddling every day, putting the grinds, sweating bolts out up there every day in the heat.
Love it. So we're so glad that you came up here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stoked to be here.
Yeah. So you do some training down there, or offer, like, is it more tourists than locals?
Yeah, I do a lot more personal training. The SUP scene hasn't really grown to a big thing in La Paz there, where I'm at in Baja California, sir. But for those who are into paddleboarding for recreational side of things, I do try to get classes for them, give them some basic skills to enjoy the sport more and also help protect their bodies and just have a good time in the water. But not a huge scene there in terms of paddle boarding, but I'm passionate about it, so I try to make it a big scene and get the people I can there involved. So.
I love it. And I'm always impressed with tech. Like you do make great videos, and it's you do the graphics on top and all the layering and all that, which is really fun. We want to be sure to share those of you who do training like on our YouTube, and so you need to help me figure out how to do that. The all volunteer thing. But let's talk about your heat. What do you think about that? Have you done a 200 meter course before against other people, or is this
No, for me, this is the first time doing a 200 meter sprint, and so for me, it's more coming out here, learning from the other guys how they're doing their strokes and their form, and see what I can do. I'm a tall dude, so I try to do the best I can, get my lower stance and higher stroke rate going. So definitely not my forte in terms of sprints, but I like coming out here and see what I can do against these other guys. And I can tell it's dry here in California, but I know that 200 meter sprint, I was like, man, I'm ready for a drink of water now.
Go refill that water bottle. You got electrolytes too. Raspberry
Exactly.
flavor, yeah. Well, congrats, and I thought you did really well.
Thank you, for a first
But you
time.
haven't raced against all these people.
No, most people are brand new to me, so it's good to see how I just get to know these guys and how they do and see where I stack in the competition.
Yeah. Well, that's what's fun, and what we want to see more of is people crossing across from different regions. So you said you named a couple states, but
yeah, I'm mostly from the Midwest. I grew up most of my life in Missouri, so nowhere near the ocean side of things. Didn't grow up in paddleboarding, more in the track racing, running scene, and got into paddleboarding when we moved to Mexico in 2017, and that's where my journey started, and here I am today. So little by little, growing what I know and building upon that.
Looks like you're on the ocean almost every day.
Yeah, I'm on the nowadays. Yeah, I'm on the ocean about every day now, so I love it.
That's great. So that area is known for wind. So have you gotten into that scene at all? Because that's I know it from the people who, from the windsurfing world, grew up in it, like Fiona Wild. So part-time live in Los Barriles, which is to the south of you, I believe.
Just to the south of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big scene there. Los Barriles or La Ventana are huge kiteboarding scenes, windsurfing, and downwinding as well. So last year I started getting into that as well. I was able to meet Fiona Wild and do some collaboration with her, and she taught me a lot of what she knows from all her knowledge, and she's learned from doing it, just showing me how to do the skills better in terms of downwinding on a board. And I learned a lot from her last year, so I'm excited for this next windy season here in Baja to apply those tips and go out there have some more fun and hopefully meet some more paddlers out there in the water. But definitely, I say far and few between in terms of paddlers compared to kite surfers. A few of us in the water, but still a good time.
Yeah. Good. Well, congrats and good luck in your next heat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thanks for stopping by. So we don't have a flag up yet. Still have a little bit of time, but our next heat is going to be 60 plus males. There are 2 heats of 60 plus. Happens to be my category too, so proud that we have so many in over 60. Rafi Manukian, Sean Sullivan, Derek Turner, but he's going to be a DNS, so he's not here this morning. Will be joining us tomorrow. Rob Heineman, Michael Markunis, and Carl Euster. So fun. I think we probably will have 5 of those 6, it looks like, warming up and lining up down there between our orange buoys, our Doritos we call them.
Got it.
That name. Learned that I think from the outrigger community, or I'm not sure who started that one. Sorry, the lifeguards I think are calling me.
Oh, on the
Check this out. Hard to use with the hat on. Oh, you can see much better with that. This is a good identifier.
It's Christine's.
Is it on a hiking stick?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Does it like to look for bears or something?
You know, sometimes you need a good monocle, right?
Can't say I've ever had one. So
Yeah.
maybe you do.
Okay, cool.
We have a young man just crossed behind us. We have to trying to block that, but it's not working very well, is it? It doesn't. It just adds to the live feed, right? People wandering behind. Oliver came from Sayulita, I believe, so also from Mexico. We really want to see the youth divisions grow. Don't have a lot here, but wherever you are out there, maybe starting a program in coaching. Maybe you have kids. I know it's tricky. Sometimes they get into their sport and it's so focused on just one sport. But this is a up and coming wellness sport that we hope to see more kids in. Hey Sean. It's one of the three Seans. I forgot to send you guys the triple Sean picture.
Yeah.
Come sit down and say hi.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Date and the little icon.
So we were talking about interesting techniques earlier because Jen Fuller does, when she was talking about alignment and how important alignment is. But let's back up. Sean Tierney just paddled. Good job on your heat, buddy. And also your Pacific, can I say it right? Wellness. Healing and wellness. It's healing.
Los Alamitos,
Yeah. So get up to that mic and tell us a little bit about it. I have been there for a treatment, so have some very well-known names.
Yeah. So we're, in about 2009, I decided we wanted to be experts at regenerative medicine and ultrasound-guided procedures and diagnosis. So we put everything we could into it. Spent a lot of money, and I spent over a decade traveling the world teaching ultrasound and musculoskeletal ultrasound, nerves, muscles, tendons, bones, and then kind of reestablishing the way we treat people, the way we diagnose things, and then the whole time we've been treating people here in Los Alamitos. So we've been fortunate to build a good reputation. In Los Alamitos, definitely 2 days a week. I'm also in different parts of California, Northern California, Metro LA, all those areas.
I didn't,
Keep
him
busy.
busy.
I'm a traveling guy. My main place is here in Los Alamitos.
Yeah.
So it's
I have to say, I'm just fascinated how underused ultrasound is. When they were doing that on me, the fact that with an ultrasound, which I've had children, so that's the only time I think I ever had an ultrasound, but you can see everything. They're showing me, I'm looking on the screen, and you can see the fascia, the muscles, the bones, the nerves. I mean, that you could tell me stuff about my bone spurs on my neck and stuff was amazing to me.
You're more than doubling your diagnostic ability and ability to understand the problem when you're using musculoskeletal ultrasound. I always say if you want to see the truth about pretty much anything in life, you want to have more perspectives, more ways of looking at things, more points of view, whether that's through different people.
What a good philosophy. I like
more
this.
data, right? So if you just look at, where you have, twice the perspectives, more than twice the data, then you're more likely to get a really good diagnosis. And when you take that a little bit further, then you can do a procedure with it. You can get a really accurate diagnosis. So let's say that I think, this 1/10 millimeter of connective tissue. There we go. Okay,
we're missing the heat. Sorry. I'm so fascinated by all this.
Bye.
Okay, we've got the 60-plus men are going. We have Rafi in lane 1. Rafi in lane 1. Sean Sullivan. Lane 2. Derek Turner is not here. No. Ron Heineman is in the middle there in the blue shirt. Michael Marcunas, and then Carl Euster from North Central or Midwest region. Woo! Okay, that looks like a tight race. We've got Sean, Michael, and Carl. Yeah. Does it look like Sean?
It looks like Sean.
And then Carl or Michael? It's hard, our perspective, we can't see the line. Well done, guys. And there's Rob. And Rafi. Yeah. It's cool that we have 2 heats of 60 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Super cool. It's not
So that was the first of 2 heats. Yeah. Well, you'll have to come back and different people watch the live feed, and we got it going for 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Pacific Healing and Wellness I can vouch for. And he didn't mention his lovely wife is a doctor.
Right, Dr.
And so they work on you at the same time. He's doing the ultrasound and she's depending on what the treatment was. I was having some injections and so she's, and I'm like a needle phobe, but it didn't bother me at all, and I don't know why, but I think talking, and I'm fascinated by the screen. And
Well, part of it is, when you're looking at things, you can avoid the things that are painful. There's no sensation for pain in muscle, only in skin and nerves, and a little bit in bone. So if we're not hitting in nerves and we're not going through the skin, it's like strangely,
Well, thank
it's not
you.
that
You
uncomfortable,
did,
right?
yeah. And not surprisingly, you did a great job. So thanks.
Glad to help.
Yeah, and
All
good
right.
luck on your next heat.
Okay.
Harrison, yeah. Sprinting, your new favorite race, right?
As evidenced by my last place finish,
Stop.
I don't believe I have a future in sprinting. However, I will say that it was a ton of fun.
Good, yeah.
And everyone should try it, right?
Yeah.
You know, because spice of life.
Yeah, and over quickly and all of that. I was getting carried away with one of our sponsors there, talking about his healing wellness. You'll have to learn about it later. He'll come back again.
Well, you know, I can get a line by Jen Fuller, and then I
Yes.
can get, you know.
Yeah. Injections by, yeah. Yeah, mine's an ongoing issue with numbness in my arm, you know. And,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to solve it with other methods, so I was.
Tell those folks out there, you know, getting old is not for the young.
So our second heat, these are quarterfinals, we're calling them. So this is 60 plus males. We had that last group that was real competitive. Did you see that finish? There were like 3 of them coming in.
I did not. I was still trying to, you know, get
Recover.
my recovery on, right? But
You're not breathing hard.
you know, I see a couple Midwesterners there. You
Yeah.
know, we had Carl, who
Yeah, he did great
who
the
races
last time.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy just like has probably raced more than, you know, he's probably in the million mile club, you know, of paddleboard.
Yeah.
He just you know, just goes and goes and goes. He's an energizer bunny. And then, you know, we've got Joe Betchold in that last heat, married to Kathy McRae.
Yeah, these guys are coming up.
Oh, they're just coming
Yeah,
up.
so Carl's just finished.
Oh,
So
Carl's
this
just
is the
finished.
team,
All
so
right.
you can read those names. Yeah.
All right. So coming up, you know, we've got Dave, we've got Barry, we've got Tony Forcier, Andrew Stasnik, Joe Betchold, James Yanachek, and Bruce Berry. We were just talking about Carl. Carl, sit down here.
You're on TV.
Carl's on live stream.
Carl got second in his heat. Woo!
So Carl just got second in his heat here, 60 plus. We were just saying, Carl, that like if there was a 1,000,000-mile award for somebody who had paddled 1,000,000 miles in race conditions, that you would probably be the guy that could qualify for it. How long have you been racing, Carl?
Probably have to calculate all together, you know, the 100 in paddleboard, I think about 110. That's just paddleboard,
So you've got 110 races just on paddleboard,
at least.
and you figure, you know, 110 at 10K, because most races that you've done are 10K, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
That's
So
on my, it's eight cheddar jack,
I mean, who's got a calculator? That sounds like a bunch of miles to me.
2.5 of sub 11 city tour.
2.5. How do you do half of an 11 cities tour?
I did the weekend stage in 19.
All right.
Then too full.
So what's left on your bucket list, Carl?
Next? I don't know. 2 more cheddar jack.
2 more check.
1 more 11 city tour for sure.
Yeah. And then what?
And then we'll see.
And then you'll reevaluate. So I mean, in those 110 races, not a lot of sprints, right?
Not very few, yeah.
Very
It's fairly
few.
new. Sprinting is fairly new, yeah.
How do you like it?
I enjoy it actually.
Yeah. Well, you're good at it, so you know that's half the battle, right?
Yeah, not bad, yeah. Of course, it's a board. I wish I had my own board. I'll probably be a little bit faster on my own board.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little earlier. I mean, it is, you know, kind of the one disadvantage those of us who have to fly into these races have. Well, there's actually multiple disadvantages, but not being on familiar boards, you know, is one of them. But
It's a good board. The 404, I use it. It's a good board. I like it.
oh yeah, I paddle a 404 jump at home. It's a great board. I enjoy it quite a bit. Danny Chain Crew did a great job. So many good boards, you know, available now, as opposed to, I know, Carl, we've known each other for over 10 years, and, you know, 10 years ago we were, you know, paddling boards that didn't have much volume, didn't have any rocker. Yeah, 12.6s, yeah, and you were one of the last to to give up the 12.6 for the 14
I was
footer.
holding on. Yeah, raced to a 14. I was on my 12 fix for a couple of years.
So 110 races on Paddle Guru, most of those on a 12.6 and most of them 10K races. And then some really kind of long distance stuff in there as well. So what do you think of this venue, Carl?
It's awesome.
Pretty cool. Did
We
you
do it every year now.
did you know that this is the Olympic venue in the 1930s?
Really?
Yeah, this was built to host the paddling portions of the I believe it's the 1938 Los Angeles Games, and it will be the site of the 2028 paddling events for the Olympics.
I'll be here.
Unfortunately, we got the bad news here that paddleboarding will not be included in the 2028 games. But we'll continue to put our best face forward and see if we can't realize some Olympic ambitions here in the near future. So once again, we're lining up for the Golden Masters Heat 2 60 plus. Dave Anderson, Barry Williams, Tony Forcier, Andrew Stasniak, Joe Betchold, James Janashik, and Bruce Berry. Don't know a lot of these guys. I know Joe Betchold from our Midwest crew, married to Kathy McRae, who competed 60 plus earlier. I do know that Joe and Kathy both did 11 cities last year and did real well, especially in their age classes. They're competitive. They're great people. They put on a race in Chicago called Beach to Beach. And you think of the Midwest, you might think of that we just do flat water racing. This year's Beach to Beach, I wasn't there, but I understand it was especially challenging with 4 to 6 foot swell for the entire race on freshwater, in Chicago. So come join us for a race in the Midwest. I've already advertised that a few times here, but it's not just all flat water. We have waves in the Midwest. The question from the beach was which beach to beat which beach, and the race goes from the Highland Park Boat Club, which is a very old sailing club, to just a portion 10K down the beach on Lake Michigan, just north of Chicago.
Let me know when we get to the finals.
Okay.
So we can fly the drone again. We had a little bit of battery. We ran out of juice. But for the finals, men's and women's.
Looks like we've got a heat underway. Our men's 60 plus. Can't quite tell who's in the lead, but it looks like probably lane 3, which on my sheet is Tony Forcier. Looks like the outside lanes are moving pretty good too.
That's good.
James Janashik and Bruce Berry. So Joe has a cheering section here on the beach. Boy, this is a really close heat, folks. I'm watching online. You can probably tell better than I can, but very, very close. It looks like lane 6 is going to have it. Looks like lane 3 gave up too early.
That's the hard angle to see. That's Tony Forcier.
So Tony did take the win?
I think so.
All right. Great job, men.
Well, we actually can't call it. We're doing the best we can, but we're not at the finish line, so.
Right, we have kind of a cute angle to the finish line.
If he stopped early, he's gonna get in trouble since I train with him.
Well, from my angle, it looked like he stopped, and the other guys were still paddling. So.
Woo! Good job, guys.
How's it?
Hey, what up, dude? How are you?
Doing good. Representing.
Yeah, there you go. You running the ones and twos over here, or what?
Do you guys have the semifinal sheets for the guys doing the starts and the finish?
Yeah, same.
They don't have the like raw.
You know,
the,
just
Right, they're
foiling,
not
surfing.
set yet.
Foil on
Okay.
top there.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna run them down there.
We've been
No,
really
yeah, we haven't tried to print.
the e-foil biz has
Work
been
on that.
All
been
right,
really good.
Yeah.
I'll hang with you. We're
Yeah, there's a bunch of them and a bunch of guys in Dana Point Harbor that got it.
Yeah, like
So
our
should we
getting
try
my
ready
buddy
to move to the semis.
Sam Deacon,
Yeah.
he runs OC foil.
Is there a break now or
and
not?
like he said he sold 45
No, there's no break.
this
Okay.
year.
So
All right, we're on just a 10-minute
Oh, it's
break
like
here while we get
Well, it's
ready
basically, yeah, they're not cheap,
for
whatever.
the semifinals. Once again, thank you for joining us online. If you have questions, comments, or just want to shoot us a like, we appreciate the interaction. Let us know that you're out there and we appreciate what we're doing.
either of you have an extra pen? But it's on the phone, right? Are you guys looking at it? Everybody should have it on their phone. Robert,
All right, for the folks online, I'm going to see if I can grab somebody here to interview. Behind me, we're setting up for the semis.
That was pretty awesome. That was
great stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right.
They're on your phone.
But this, it was hard. It was cool. Congratulations. Your whole family was
Hey, we're working on printing out sheets, but for those of you on the beach, you can look on live heats to know where you're seated for the next round. If you want to know what heat you're in coming up here, and you don't want to wait for the printed sheets to be posted, go ahead and check live heats on your phone, and you'll be able to see what your next heat is and your lane position.
You want to go find Christine? Or actually, I have a pair of books. I think I brought those. I want to bring those over. Appreciate it.
Once again, you're tuned in to the USA SUP National Championships Day 1 Sprints. Getting ready for the semifinals. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough here.
Hey! Good to see you. Wow, I saw you. Yeah, well, I saw you on the USA. Yeah. All right. Still at it. You were in chatting back? No, you didn't do it. Okay, how many other days do we have? This will be the next It can't be it. We'll do it all. That happened once we did it. Remember when it was like the wire from the bay foils room and then it just like literally took all the power out of all of them? It just used the power from the batteries instead of from the wall. Okay.
Yeah, so
Once again, we're just on a little pause, waiting to get ready for the semifinals.
Where are we at right now?
we're at semifinals. That one has 2 lights, so it's at 50%.
And then the one. All right.
So we could probably do
The nature of
50%
racing
is like
is we
20
hurry up
minutes.
and go.
50% is like 20 minutes. So I think we could probably get both men's and
Sean
women's
Arnold,
finals.
I just
come on
have to
down
bring
here.
it back and land it.
Come on
and then
down here,
send it
Sean.
back.
Yeah.
Come on the live cast with me. That was Sean Arnold, ladies and gentlemen. He is evidently shy. I've never known that about him.
That's funny. I had to go water polo and search my kid before I got to
So top two are going to the finals here. The rest of the heats need to battle it out to see the final. Mike, you got a minute? Oh, he's officiating. He's working. That's true.
That's the then we have a break. Okay, I won't be here tomorrow. I don't know. So I got to pick up at 50 plus. Well, if my wife was in town, she could do it, but I got to go to the airport. Friday works good. But the Saturday is hard. There might be some trip as well. This is good for us. Make sure we know which.
What you guys surfing?
In between, just north of here.
So we call it the gap. So if you go talk about how it's good. Yeah, they talk about it. My favorite break in Huntington is basically at
Yes, there is a live stream on Facebook, as it's mentioned on the beach. And if you watch the live stream on Facebook while I'm broadcasting, the earth will break apart. We'll be stuck in an infinity loop. All right, first semi-final heat, open women, coming right up, getting ready to start. I don't have a start sheet yet, so
Semi-final?
if somebody can get me a start sheet.
Is this semi-final?
Semi-final. Or if somebody grabs me my phone, that's okay too.
Where's your phone?
My phone is... I'll be right back, folks.
I mean, I'm a bigger guy, so I kind of like a bigger one.
So it's probably came up with this 9.
It is super stupid.
It's amazing how stable it is because a lot of big guys combined as well. So that's kind of our newest.
Yeah, longboard is really cool. I mean, I grew up longboarding, lifeguarding, from paddling, and then started working with them. And Mike was like, here, take this. So I've been learning subsurfing like that. Mike is phenomenal.
Yeah,
to be
Mike,
around.
you know, he's an amazing paddler. You know, I never knew my paddle was so bad until I watched paddle.
He can really, he will really make you jealous of like how many waves he
No, he
does.
does. He's a wave.
He just,
No, I literally thought his son.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
He went surfing one day in Bolinas, and it was the first day with his Apple Watch, and he clocked 51.
I believe it. No, he's really smooth on his hard.
All right, we're back live, getting ready for the women's open semifinal. Paula, Katrina Samateni, Jennifer Flanagan, Katie Kasperick, Lynn Escatel, Maylee Jaggy, Susan Krupa McCroon, Elizabeth Duke, also known as Betsy, and Leanne Peterson.
Yeah, the last time I surfed over there, it was with
Looks like they're getting lined up.
I mean, I only ever see
And I heard the start horn.
outside.
Women's Open semifinal is underway.
I grew up surfing in Jersey.
There you go. Yeah. I grew up in South Florida.
6'5", chasing hurricanes.
Really well matched heat. Looks like a straight line of paddlers across the water. Hard to tell who's in the lead. We don't have a drone in the air.
Lane 2.
I see Betsy in her orange Midwest paddle jersey in the lane. She's in the mix. Outside lanes are getting bunched together a little bit. It's hard out there paddling a straight line. No, it shouldn't seem like it, but crowded field. Final sprint to the line. Really tight group. And the wing goes to a rider on a 404 board. Not quite sure who it is from here, but nice job, ladies. Nice job.
That's Maylee Yagi.
Maylee Yagi with the heat win. Great job, Maylee.
Pretty good. We have a couple names on there that are not here.
So Levi. Yeah. Cool. So I heard you went to Hawaii for a while. That might come in. Is that what it was? Yeah. Because I asked, I said, Mike, what happened to Levi? He goes, oh, I got so into foiling he left.
Yeah, well, winter is hard for us.
Yeah.
And so last winter with the rain and everything, we worked for it. But this year we got our game together. We're going to be doing Mexican competition.
So you guys should crush it this year. Because one of them is really following since the pandemic. Ford, he's ahead of the place.
All right, thanks for hanging with us online and on the beach. Exciting sprint action.
Yeah. You guys are going to crush it. Yeah, but it was game.
Nice up train. Yeah.
So when Ford comes up,
But he also
We've got open men here coming up in just about 9 minutes. Open men.
It should be posted on USA Sub's page. I can try to repost it. And also their YouTube is up too.
I'm gonna give Christine my walk.
Next heat,
Yeah, no problem.
semifinal open
bring
men.
them the
Anchor Samatini, Jeremy Kaluko, Oliver Martinez, Paul Pianowski,
Is this-
Jeremy Nicholson, Ethan Huff, Dennis Gibson, and Bo Widener.
Men's semi.
Men's semi.
What?
That moment?
Yeah, that we're pulling too much current from the generator.
Looks like the men are starting to gather near the start line. If you're just joining us, USA SUP National Championships, Day 1, sprints Coming up on men's open semifinal.
And the ones that we had. Like, this was a good, I was a good summer.
Top two from the first heat went directly to the finals. Here in the semis, we determine who will meet the top four heat finishers and round out the final. Men's Open semifinal. Anchor Sematani, Jeremy Kaluko, Oliver Martinez, Paul Pianowski, Jeremy Nicholson, Ethan Hupp, Dennis Gibson, and Bo Widener. And ladies and gentlemen, on the scene, Adam Tischel.
Am I taking someone's seat here?
You are taking whoever is going to continue on with this exciting announcing after I start to get ready for my heat, which is coming up here in a few minutes.
Okay, I'll be rooting for you. Wait, are you racing against my Seattle buddies?
Oh, I'm sure. But, I mean, I got last in the first heat, so this is really like consolation time, right?
Sweet.
Ivan beat me, so.
That'll happen. I've experienced that.
Yeah?
I should introduce myself. I'm Adam Tischel. I'm the Vice President of Communications for USA SUP. Just flew in.
Boy, his arms are tired. So just getting ready to start semifinal heat number one, open men.
Green flag is up.
Green flag is up on the finish. The starter directing our open semifinal noses to the start buoy.
It is a beautiful day.
Oh my God, is it a beautiful day and a beautiful venue.
I paced the whole thing. I started today, dark 30 in Seattle, rainy, cold, flew in, drove on the wrong side of this beautiful venue, so I got to see, oh, they're off. Let's talk.
And they're off. Again, interesting to see, sprinting being a relatively new discipline to most people. Some people take a very high cadence approach, and others take a long power stroke approach. And from my perspective here, Adam, it seems that both ways work. I think it probably depends on the board and the paddle that you've chosen to have out there today, and really no replacement for athleticism.
That's absolutely true. And the other thing too is this is a really wide body of water for sprints to be on, so you've got a lot of room. We see people yawing back and forth, but it's really about going straight. If you got power, go straight. If you got high cadence, go straight. But straight's going to be what's winning.
Straight is winning, yeah. It looks like the far lane might have a little bit of an advantage there. I think that's
This is tight.
Oh, that was Dennis Gibson, but it looks like we've got
This is going to be tight for second.
Dennis Gibson or Bo Wagner? I think that's Dennis, but I can't really. No, I think Dennis is in the far lane. So I think that's Bo Widener, and followed by Jeremy, and maybe Dennis in third there. I'm not
I
quite
have
sure.
no idea.
Oh, okay.
And I just noticed you have the
I don't know.
inflatable coming
Wrong
across.
person to
It's an
ask.
impressive effort to power that thing alongside the hardboards.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we were talking during the first heat when he was out there. It's about having the experience here, not what you're paddling or whether or not you're going to make it as a world class athlete. Or,
Adam Tischler showed up.
Yeah.
I didn't even stop to say hi to anyone, just saw Harrison sitting and talking, and that looked like fun.
Yeah. Why not? As a matter of fact, were you scheduled to do this?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. I think so.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you were.
Hey, that was a great heat right there. 1 through 3, very close.
Very, very close grouping. Clean start. Looked fantastic.
We didn't cover one of the other options between high cadence and power, which is a high power cadence, which is what really crossed the line first in positions 1, 2, and 3. Those guys are really motoring.
Yeah.
I have to get a shout out to the young man who just won that heat. He was sitting here earlier. He's a guy from Baja who hasn't raced with us much at all, if at all. So he's up from Baja, Ethan Huff.
Oh, Ethan Huff.
He makes, yeah.
He's been
We
practicing.
were talking about those training videos.
Yeah.
And everything, yeah.
I gotta go. My pizza.
All right, Harrison. Good luck, man.
Go, Harrison, go. Want to come say hi?
No, we need to announce that 60-year-old.
You can keep it away.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Like.
No one's down there.
Hey guys, the semifinals are going, and the 50 plus and 60 plus men need to get down there on the water. We're wondering where they are. Remember, it's on your phone. These are progressions, and the first, in general, the first two of each of those first early heats, those quarterfinals, went automatically to the finals, and then the rest are having this second chance, sometimes called a repechage. In a surf contest, we're calling it semifinals.
Repechage does sound fancy, though.
Ooh, fancy.
A little too fancy for us, maybe. Semifinal. All right.
Semifinal.
I'll read the names out here.
Yeah,
they can hear in person, and then the folks who are watching can cheer along. Sean Arnold, Yuri Gesser, Rich D'Souza, Ivan Stork, Ji Jiang, John Hansen, Marcus Pizzetta, and Harrison Withers, who just, we know Harrison's here because he just ran away from our side here.
He's trying to
Back
get down
he
there,
is,
yeah.
Well, I think we've got some people down there. I don't know if that's a cool down lap or if we've got some folks
7
lining
minutes.
up.
I think they're just getting it. So that is one of the things you just have to pay attention to is that, and we have this new program we're using live heats, so it is automatic. We do have a little snag though. 2 of those people are not here.
Okay.
And they shouldn't have. It did say DNS or did not start, so they're not sure why. Marcus went forward and Jai Jang are both not here or didn't check in at all.
Okay.
Unless they somehow snuck in. Is it Jay? Is that how you pronounce it?
Jay, thank you. Jay Jiang not here. So we've got a good representation here too. I'm just looking at it. Obviously we've got a fair number of people from Southwest, but we've got Northwest and North Central regions represented on the course, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Ivan from up in, is he a
My
Ballard
buddy.
Elks Club
He
guy?
is a Ballard,
Yeah.
a Ballard Elks Club guy, yeah. A couple of us here. In fact, John Hansen is a Ballard Elk as well.
That one still
He's been out there twice already?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
Okay, it
Let's
looks like
grab this.
we have found our
Anybody
next 2
born in the
divisions.
60s and 70s to the start line.
I don't know if you could hear that. The call was anyone born in the 60s or 70s to the start line.
Yeah.
That's one way to think of it.
One way into the yeah, not too far into the 70s. No, I guess except most of the 70s. That is an interesting way to think of it. That was Mike Eisert, representing SIC here.
If you've used a rotary phone,
yes.
go to the start line.
My category is small. We do not have a semifinal, so in our case, because it was less than a full heat, we all are doing it twice, and we'll just all be in the final.
All right, yeah,
And
so
I
sort of
think
like
we're
a warm-up, feel-out kind of thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've raced the course now, KT?
Which one's Mike Iser?
We're answering questions.
Sorry. Mike Eisert, where did he go? Tallest guy there with the board shorts with the blue. And I think he has an SIC shirt on.
And black frame glasses. All right, we're identifying people who need to be identified. So you've raced the course now already this morning.
I did. I didn't quite cut it as close as Harrison did, but I did just like around the course and back. Yeah.
For sprinting, I know the first thing I noticed sitting down watching, so the last heat was the first one I've seen. It's a really wide, this is a beautiful area to race obviously, but really wide and wider than we normally see for sprints. Just being on there doing a sprint mentally, because I've not done a sprint.
Yeah, you don't see anyone kind of
Yeah.
because it's wide, but we also we weren't able to arrange to have lines, actual lines.
I'm not sure you need them.
But we are asking people to stay in their lanes, so we're asking them to be at least 10 feet apart.
We do that in our USA SUP board meetings too.
They're Zoom calls. We are far apart, aren't we?
So you don't really, you don't have a sense of.
So yeah, the people around you as much when it's spread out. But I have to say, I've done things in lanes too, and sometimes you don't either. I mean, it is.
Well, for you, you never see them because you're always the fastest one out
no,
there.
I'm not.
I see. That was a humble brag. We get it.
No, I was in second. My buddy Jen Fuller, who already has chatted, is the fastest 60-plus person in Albany.
I'll come back and land it. Have the next
So
one.
this is the 50-plus.
This is the 50-plus, yeah.
How many
again,
more?
in general, we're going lane 1 closer to shore, going out. They don't have lane numbers on their boards. They're just on their right side or wearing their number. again, we have two of the people whose names somehow got into this heat are not here. Jay, spelled J-I-E.
Yep.
We
Jay
just learned how to
and
pronounce that. And
Marcus, you said.
and
Marcus
Marcus.
Pizzetta. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, this is fun for me. I got 4 folks who I know pretty well
Good.
in here.
Yeah.
How many more until finals?
Good question. I think just 2.
Okay,
I
perfect.
think we just have 2 more semifinals, and isn't there a short break?
We have drone back on, but limited battery.
Okay.
So I want to make sure we get the
Yeah.
finals.
So I think there might be an actual little break, which, depending on what our announcer who's not here wants to do, we could take a break, or is that like a bad idea in a live stream?
Nope.
If there's nobody racing, and you need to charge the drone.
It is A-okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
Just wanted
So
to
we'll
know.
just leave it on, but we'll
Powering-
decide whether it might be quiet for a little bit until we get to the finals. This will be the finals of Open 50 plus and 60 plus. We did have a couple of youth, but not enough for a heat.
Yeah.
And we talked about the open category, how even though it's the widest age group, it also has the option of being opted into. So if you're younger or older and very competitive and you want to be against the top paddlers, so the Bodie Von Almans and the Soren Prestons, who are officially juniors on paper, choose to do open.
For good reason, because they're faster than most of the adults.
Yes, they are. And we have another young lady who did really well. I think she has won the semifinal heat and was going to the final male heat. And we have Oliver from Sayulita, Mexico, I believe. So it's not
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Great vibe. I mean, it's chill for sure, but a great vibe here right now. People just watching the action. The temperature could not be better.
Yeah.
I'm overdressed as if I started my day in Seattle.
It was chilly for those of us who live south. It
Yeah.
was chilly this morning, but not cold.
All right, the green flag is up.
Within the minute. Our starter, Robert Housen, is choosing to use a flag up. Could be any time. Horn. He does have us come to the line with 30 seconds. He asks you to stay back, and he gives you the 30 seconds. And you're just listening for that horn. And it's a go.
There it is. All right.
I don't know if you've heard it. It's very faint.
It's bouncing up the buildings across the way, but I did hear it. You've clued me in, as always.
Not true.
All right, this is interesting. 2 of our guys, it looks like lane 2 and 3 have sort of drifted onto each other, so they've got eyes locked. There's my buddy Ivan in the orange shirt. I recognize that stroke.
We'll talk more about like clubs and groups.
Yeah.
You actually have a physical building, but the first 2 guys right here battling are part of our senior flash mob, which is a group of us who during COVID went to where the races that were canceled would have been.
Nice. Well, this is competitive.
Actually, tough.
Kristen, this is going to be a very close finish.
Definitely. Unfortunately, we're not at a good angle.
No, but
Tricky to see.
it looks like Ivan and that Infinity are just about neck and neck.
Jörg.
Jörg and Ivan are right there. Here we go. This is going to be a tight finish between those 2. Digging deep, both of them. Cadence and power. Let's see what happens here.
They're over the line. Super
Yep.
close.
Great race by those
So
2.
I-
Really
and I
tight
think
here
it's
still.
4, and that's Rich.
There's excellent. Rich and Harrison.
And then this is Sean.
And Sean and now John.
We say
behind.
a Sean because there's 3 Seans.
A Sean, one of the Seans, and then John. Great race there. That was.
Well done. That was a competitive one. It's interesting because a lot of us haven't done this format before, but when you know you're going to do at least 1 more race, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 total.
You got to leave some in the jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Sometimes you think, oh wow, that person didn't go as fast.
Just plug it in on the generator.
They were being strategic. If they know the
Right.
plan.
Well, and the other thing too is 200 meters. It seems like not that much until you're about 50 meters in.
Yeah. I was at the end going.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing to watch for in these. I think is everyone's going to start fast. You have to, because you don't want to get caught in the wash, right? But then you start running out of steam unless you are incredibly fit.
Although to your point of how spread out.
Yeah,
it
that's
is,
right. Less
you know,
of an
I
issue,
think
isn't
it's
it?
way less wash issue. We in the racer meeting talked about
If we want to go to drone,
drafting
press
not
2.
allowed or blatant
If we want to go
drafting.
back
We
to
know that
them,
wakes
press
come
4.
about, and so
2
so
and 4.
they happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Starts of races is when I think about it. It's like you don't mean to draft, but you're going to be where you are regardless. You have some control, but there's often drafting.
Right.
It doesn't mean to happen. Maybe.
Nice job, Ivan.
Woo! Nice work out there.
Yeah, that is.
Ivan has to come over so you can talk Pacific Northwest.
Oh yeah, we'll get all Northwesty.
Yeah, get all Northwesty. Ivan, we want to talk to you.
Tell me when you're
Here,
ready to launch.
jump in the hot seat.
Oh, hey.
Nice job, man.
I wasn't
Have a
looking.
seat. Good to see you.
I might be a little out of breath.
You are a little out of breath, no doubt about it. So tell me about it. How is it? Because you really have you done 200-meter sprints before competitively like this?
Very often in Seattle.
No.
We did it down in Big Harbor, but it was a little longer. It was 1 kilometer.
But that was a 1K. That was like
Yeah.
a tech sprint, but
Yeah.
with turns and stuff.
And the second one felt way better. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, good. So what was okay? So you did one, just did that one. What was the strategy in this one? Kind of having a little bit of experience under your belt.
Yeah, heads down, just go for it. Stay on the right side as long as possible. You got to switch though, but right side's better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think you were on one side before you had to switch over?
About 30.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so did you start just going like mixed, or once you switched, were you trying to eliminate?
Finger issue on my left side, so.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's hard on the
Ivan's left index finger is bandaged.
but I can't feel like during a race.
No, of course not. Yeah. Yeah. So it looked like it was you and Jörg right there at the end.
Yeah.
Did you get a sense of his presence, or were you on him the whole time?
I could hear him at the end, and that definitely gets your brain going.
Yeah. Did you have anything left at the end? I mean, were you holding, knowing that you were going to advance, and you got to leave a little bit in the can there?
No, that was no strategy. Just go. I mean, yeah. At the end, I realized I was second, maybe the last 10 strokes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You haven't been to this venue before. I visited here before when we were doing site surveys and that kind of thing. I mean, this is so different than what we have at home in a lot of. I mean, well, look. I mean,
So much.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No, nice flat water. Yeah. It's my lifestyle. Love comes up here.
it's great. Now that you've done a couple of these sprints, so I'll be honest, full disclosure, I was arguing, Harrison knows this, I was arguing against sprints when we were first talking about what we would do.
Oh.
Now that I kind of see the setup, I'm glad I was overruled.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask me tomorrow during the distance race.
The first half hour should.
You're kind of getting some of the gases out, right?
Yeah.
Work the system, clean the engine.
I kind of like doing the sprints first.
Yeah.
It's a good warm up. It's not like a super long distance race that you're going to be way Charlie horse and sore afterwards. So.
Wireless.
Yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes.
What gear were you on? Did you bring your own stuff? You rented, okay. What are you using?
I'm on a 14x23 All-Star.
Oh, that's pretty
So
good.
pretty close to what I have.
Yeah.
Trying to rely on the hot spot.
And then an All-Star that's a little lighter.
Crashed 3
so,
times.
Yeah, just very familiar. And the newer All-Star, and my sprint is from 2017, so
we should
be 3 liters in the new All-Star. So it's, well, tomorrow will be the test.
Yeah.
If there's any cross shot, but today it's really good. I could have probably gone a little narrower, but I wanted something I could race tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How did it feel first heat? Did you have to make any adjustments, trim, or anything like that?
The big difference, I think, was just being fully wound up in the second heat and knowing how long it was. Yeah, I didn't practice sprints at home or anything. Most of our races are 5K.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. I really like it.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is reminiscent, so for folks watching, listening, we've got a race that we do in the summer, and a lot of times it does start with essentially a 200-meter sprint down to the first turn. Anything gleaned from that? I mean, does this apply in any way to like a 5K tech race, for example?
You can turn on the can.
Well, I think
Turn it
there's
on.
a tiny bit of
No, turn
more
it.
current in the center here. If you keep your eyes open, if you look at the buoy, it's calmed down a lot.
Mhm.
I think there's an advantage because I've seen people win on the
And then
inside
start.
lanes too. So I don't think it's that big a deal. But there is a little bit of current, and paying attention to the water is where one of my strengths, since I grew up around tides.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me it's not pure power. There's a lot of technique in stand-up board racing. And not to say I'm perfect at any run, but just having that ability to see how your technique affects your time.
Oh, yeah, here we go. The green flag's up. I'm going to read off the names of the folks who are competing. I hope I have this right. Michael Markunis, Dave Anderson, Rob Heineman, Barry Williams, Rafi Munakian, Andres Stasiak, Derek Turner, and Joe Bechtold. And this is our Golden Master, 60 plus male. So we're in about 30 seconds. There we go. They're off. It seems like the one thing you have to avoid doing is yawing off really hard at the beginning. We've seen in every heat now, we've seen someone sort of yaw off pretty hard in the first couple of strokes, and that can be difficult to overcome.
I mean, getting off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a big difference for me in the first heat versus second heat.
You caught your board a little different off the start?
Yeah, I caught a weak part way in the first heat.
Oh, wow.
Threw me off, slowed me down. So, yeah, you want to stay in the lane.
This is a competitive heat here. This is looking like the heat you just finished.
Everyone's neck and neck.
Yeah.
Come
You
closer
draw
to
a
the
line
microphone.
across their nose and it'll be straight. Yeah, this is going to come down to who's got the most left in their tank here in the last 50 yards. And lane, these first two lanes are looking really strong. Look at that, hey, these really 60 plus guys. Motoring. Wow. Here we go, it's like lane 1, 2, and 6. This is going to be very tight. It looks like 1 and 2 and 6. There we go, those are our top 3.
Lane 4 was in the mix as well.
Lane 4 was in the mix as well, I'm told by our drone operator, which is probably the best view humanly possible. Great job by these guys. That was a really, really good race.
Yeah, that was really gross.
We think lane 1 took it? Yeah. I'm gonna kick you out, Ivan, see if we can get him up here.
Outside lane.
Outside lane, so well, we got a mixed opinions. We'll get lane 6 and lane 1. Who was in lane 1? I can't see his number. Come on over here, Michael. Pretty please. There's no rest for the weary, my man. We're gonna talk to Michael Markunis.
Lane 160.
There you go. Have a seat, will you? Oh, yeah, we're gonna have you breathe heavy in the microphone. Can you guys still hear me? Adam Tischler.
Adam.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Great race.
Thank you.
Tell me about it. I saw, it's funny, you yawed off pretty hard, sort of clocked over and had to correct, but you recovered really well. What went through your mind right off the start there?
Well, off the start, trying to remember the quick start light paddles and then do like deep paddles. But yeah, tendency not to hold the line, so I have to correct a lot.
Yeah.
So it does break up. I have to switch a lot. But I try to make up for it with deep paddles and the cadence, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Speak into the microphone.
So while you're covering your breath, I'll ask long questions so you can regain yourself. Michael's so fresh off the course, he's still holding his paddle. It's like you ran straight from the finish to here, which is what happened. I did. So this one was really interesting because you guys are pretty much all in a straight line for the first 100 yards. Did you have a sense of no one relenting there? What was going through your head?
No, all the guys are really strong competitors. They're all really fast. They all have a lot of heart, and they all give it their all. So, yeah, I knew I could not give up or back off at all.
Yeah.
The entire time. I could feel them on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
Or right next to me. So it was tight. And I looked over towards the end, and everyone was within a nose or two of each other.
How many of these guys do you race with normally?
About this group, about half of them.
Okay, and I see you're from the southeast region. Is that right?
Both. I'm back and forth from here in Florida.
Oh, okay, cool.
I paddle there and I paddle here.
Bi-coastal paddler.
Bi-coastal paddler, never ending summer.
I don't blame you. Whereabouts in Florida do you paddle when you're there?
I paddle with Team 954.
Okay, cool.
Down in Fort Lauderdale,
Yep,
and
yep.
sometimes in Jupiter with that group, the Flying Fish group.
Excellent. Yeah. Good friends with those guys
Yeah,
as well.
great guys.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another competitive group.
Absolutely. So you're getting in some good training year round. It sounds like.
I'm trying to learn from the pros, learn from the people.
I think so. Let's show that was a really strong effort.
Thank you.
Have you done sprints like this in this format? This 200 meter
No.
just straight away?
First time on Wednesday.
Okay, cool. So tell me, like, what's that experience been like?
This is new because it's all out.
Yep.
Every race usually start fast and then you try to break into a cadence so you can hold it for a race.
Yeah.
But this one you don't get that break. So you have to dig deep, but you also have to go fast. You have to get your paddle out fast, get it back in the water fast. Anytime out of the water, you're losing speed.
So are you thinking, as you're going along there, worrying about, like you would in a distance race, every catch is perfect, or are you really just sort of aiming for propulsion?
That's a great question. So I'm just aiming for propulsion.
Yeah.
I want to have a perfect catch, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm aiming for propulsion and getting that paddle out in front of me as quick as possible, as deep as possible, out again.
Well, it worked. It worked. I'm going to let you go recover. Michael, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Hey, great team. That was
Thank
fun
you.
to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Pretty interesting talking to the folks who are coming off the course. It's
Make sure you speak right into the microphone.
I'm gonna talk to the mic. Yeah.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
The athletes.
Yeah, the athletes, those danged athletes and the microphones. It's a problem throughout history.
Breathing heavy, baby.
Yeah, no, that was very nice of them to come up there right after that. Really interesting to hear from Michael there, Ivan before. These are guys who aren't. Most of us don't paddle this format, but it is a fun one. It is, I will tell you, for the race organizers and KT who was talking before. Grant, who was over working the live heats, setting up these structures. It is an absolute ton of work, but I think for the contestants it's a ton of fun. So the payoff is there. Everyone seems to be really enjoying themselves, swimmers and draw. Love to see about getting someone who didn't win, maybe lost or drew, and see how they feel. Of course, the winners should come over and sit with us. They're going to be super psyched about what just happened. So let's see. The next heat up is going to be. Oh, we got a little break now. So I'll tell you what. Maybe I'll jump off mic and can leave folks with the scenic picture and do that. Good. I'm Adam.
Alex.
Alex, nice to meet you.
Levi.
Levi, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, we work for Mike.
I figured that part out. Yeah, Levi was on the other end of a weird conference the other day.
It's all good.
We're gonna do a little broadcast break for a minute.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Unless if you want to get
Unless you want to jump back on.
Might as well break for a minute.
Yeah.
Because we got a minute before finals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a break. Got the drone batteries charged. So
Are we gonna live stream awards?
we can. I mean, like we just need time to set it up and make sure everything is ready. And
do you have a podium?
Yeah, there's podium
over there.
Steps over there. But we could. It makes sense to do it here because you've got microphones and people can hear.
Yeah, the problem is it'd be great if we could move it over here because the transmitters need power. They have to be plugged in.
Okay.
So
I'd have to talk to Kristen about moving it over here.
Otherwise, we could just fly the drone. Fly the drone
too
at
loud.
the podium. Yeah, it'd be too loud.
Do we have an extra USB-C for this? Oh wait, we have the one right here that I just unplugged.
Yes.
How
Where did the one
do I pull that up on my phone?
You just gotta scan the code.
There's a QR code.
There's a QR code over on the boards.
Cool. All right, we're back.
I'm surprised you were able to keep it awake.
I just kept touching it.
Kept touching it.
That's what.
Kept touching my phone. Pervert.
What's our next heat?
Finals.
Finals for women.
Female. And don't shortchange the women. They're funner to watch than the guys.
Yeah.
Aye.
They're closer competition. They're like less controversy.
So you paddle on Great Lakes?
Yeah, I mean, I live in Detroit, so Detroit River, but I live on Island Lake, so most of my paddling gets done in my backyard.
It's an awesome sleeve.
Yeah. So, all Star Wars.
You know, I said that to my girlfriend. I'm like, if I end up getting tattoos, it's gonna be Star Wars, Star Trek.
Something's still broadcasting audio, and I don't know what.
And it comes all the way across.
Yeah, I think I want to get a combat right here.
You guys are still being heard talking, and I don't know why.
Well, we're talking about Star Wars. What could be worse? Just bring down the map.
What is crosstalk?
Yeah, I've got, water, coffee, phone, all different places.
You're in charge.
I'm Harrison.
Harrison, I saw your picture on the Facebook.
On the website or the Facebook or all of it.
Nice to
Okay.
meet you. I
Nice to
hang
meet
with
you.
these guys up in Alameda usually.
Up in Mike's territory.
Mike's territory, yeah.
All right.
What about you?
I live in Michigan,
Oh,
Detroit area. So
Nice.
we actually have a very active paddling scene
You
in the
know,
Midwest.
I've got cousins in Evanston,
Okay.
and they go up to Lake Geneva a lot. But
So
they're
Levi,
not
what are we looking at here? I'm not.
So we used to have
just
a
flying
race
blind,
in
but I
Lake
figured you
Geneva.
kind of had it
Lake
covered.
Geneva's
So
actually a really
Yeah,
rough
so we
lake to
have
paddle.
video here,
because they have very
and then we have
large
video
waves.
from that SLR. and
What does
then
that
we have
look like?
drone.
Lots of wakes.
Well, it's all powered down right now.
Okay, no problem. But that shows the whole course.
It shows like the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
They live in Highland Park, which is right by.
I'm trying to figure out what I need to subscribe like radio.
They run a race.
Okay, so. Okay, yeah, so it's sort of like from buoy to buoy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like crosswise.
And then we have drone that like hovers over.
Yeah, I'll bring it from the
How
start,
are you doing,
go to
Anna?
the top, then back down to the
Awesome.
line finish.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Some people haven't received their raffle tickets.
Something is picking up signal, like us talking, not in the microphones.
Oh, really?
And I don't know what it is, and it's bothering me right now.
Is it the computer, maybe?
I have the computer
All right,
muted.
I'll make an announcement.
And we also
Is
have
it-
a.
Is it
Let's
that guy,
also
maybe?
make an
I have
announcement
all that
at
muted.
awards.
It should just be the two
We also have a
microphones.
paddle available by a raffle ticket.
Oh.
So that's an extra that wasn't,
What-
wasn't
what-
yesterday. It wasn't available yesterday.
What
Maybe it's the
kind of paddle
headphones?
is it?
Hippo stick.
Huh?
Hippo stick.
A hippo stick paddle. And how much is the raffle tickets for that? 20.
Huh.
All right.
Does the SLR have an onboard mic?
It's muted.
I think while
Can you
you're
bring me up
doing
for a second?
raffle,
Yeah, sure.
and then if you want to go into the raffle for the paddle, it's
Moves around. Yeah, everyone just keeps walking up. Around.
Attention on the beach. Attention on the beach. If when you registered you did not receive a raffle ticket, please proceed back to registration to get a raffle ticket. There are a number of raffle items that are more than worth your while. In addition, we are raffling off a brand new Hippo Stick paddle. Now, tickets for that raffle are going to cost you $20, but we all know how much those paddles cost. And it goes to a great cause. So if you're in the market for Hippo Stick paddle, please go to registration and buy a raffle ticket. If you didn't get a free raffle ticket with your registration, please also stop by registration and get that raffle ticket. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're on break right now. Coming up soon for the finals.
So, I obviously
Yeah.
yeah.
Got the music figured out?
I mean, it's
We
the
have
No,
a hot
there's-
mic around here, so like
Oh, all right,
no,
yeah, they won't-
no
We're
real
trying to get
conversation.
swag bag and stuff. Number.
Is it the same number throughout the?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yep.
I gave you a shout out when you missed your thing. I did the whole Ohio River Paddle Fest speech, and you weren't even
what we
here to
might
do
do.
it.
We'll watch it. Maybe we just Are we still streaming live no matter what? Anyway?
Yeah.
Maybe should we just walk around and check each camera to see if it picks up, get next to it and see?
I can't. I have no monitor.
No, but Mike, I'm on with Mike, so I could walk around while he's listening and just talking. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So here we go.
But I have it.
It's exactly what I. Okay. So, but like if I'm like right here talking, for instance, he's got this camera muted. I'm talking like right.
Yeah.
Is it clearer now than it is like when I'm over right here, for example? Like now I'm talking here and I'm about a yard from that camera. Can you hear me? Is it not as clear? Okay, so now I'm back at this camera. And Levi, you want to talk where you are right there, man?
Hey, Mike, can you hear me in the stream?
Levi's talking into the soundboard. There's a passive mic in there. Levi, say a couple more things.
Well, I can't get this thing.
Test 1, 2.
Perfectly. Okay, yeah, it's okay. I think we've isolated. It's got to be a passive mic on the board. Okay, we'll figure it out. Thanks, man. All right, you know how to get me. See you, buddy. How you feeling today? Excellent. Oh, cool. All right, buddy. Yeah, well, keep the tips and any QC stuff coming. Cool. Thanks. Bye.
How's there a passive mic in the board? Doesn't really make any sense.
Sometimes there are, but. I'm making shade, not looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Or it could be the computer.
Try talking at the cameras again.
Low. Checking the mic. Cinema. What do you think there? Bye. How are you feeling about it? Are you a wizard? Or are you a warlock? Tell me how you feel about it. Mr. Bye. Checking the mic. Chicken. It's gonna be one simple button that you're gonna find, and it's gonna all make sense eventually. Bye.
Levi, could you hear it in the headset?
No, that's the
really?
problem.
Okay, let me call Mike. Here, I got one other thing we can try to do, which is maybe like tap the laptop and then tap that, and we'll see if you can hear. I'll call him back. Okay, we're gonna try something real quick. Levi's gonna like tap his fingers on the laptop. Do that, and we'll wait about 10 seconds. There seems to be a delay. And then he's gonna tap the. Oh, that is clear. Yeah. Go ahead and tap that now. Okay, now hang on a sec. We're just waiting for the tapping of the soundboard. That's not as loud, is it?
So it's the PC.
It's the PC. Okay, it's got to be the laptop. I think we got it. I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to figure it out, but that's the issue. Okay, cool. Oh, it's kind of nice to know it's a mic source. Shit, I should
Sorry, I shouldn't let him go.
Really yawed off at the start, but recovered really nicely. And I think that's Ivan before him, who we were talking with, said that was one of his lessons learned as well. You've got the adrenaline going at the start line. You've got 200 yards sitting in front of you and 5 other people surrounding you. And when that horn goes off, you just bury the blade, and it will, from a standstill, your fin isn't really active. You don't have much water flowing over it, if any at all. And it's really easy for your nose to kind of spin away from you. 20, 30, 40 degrees from the end line. It's not where you want to be. We may have figured out our options.
Not. Well, it's you run off one hot spot with trying to go to YouTube, Facebook, trying to go to YouTube, Facebook, streaming the drone, streaming this, streaming that.
True story.
We either need a bigger generator, or maybe we should ask one of the neighbors if we can just run an extension cord.
You know what? Honestly, I mean, just look for someone who's got a paddleboard on their deck.
Okay, I think we're back.
We're over 50% on the other battery charging.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, we are back. I'm listening to us. It's still clearer up there. You still got it. I can hear you really clearly.
Back here?
No, just when you were just sitting there talking. I mean, maybe we just take advantage of it.
I don't. It's just frustrating.
Well, it's just we don't talk.
Yeah, and yeah, I can hear you super clear.
What are you listening to?
Signal went down. I was watching the feed.
It has to be this. I bet you it's that.
I have it muted.
I mean, do you have it muted?
Are you guys the announcers?
Gentleman here.
Oh, the gentleman here. Okay. Hi, gentlemen.
Hi.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm looking for an inflatable pump because somebody broke into my car this
Not
week.
us. Sorry, you need to talk to someone
Well,
else.
no, they said that maybe you guys could announce.
We're troubleshooting something.
Oh,
We don't have the
so
time.
you don't have time. Okay. So inflatable pump?
Can I help you?
Anybody have an inflatable pump?
I think they're on the boat. Yeah, we did blow up the buoys this morning.
Somebody broke into my car this week and stole my freaking inflatable, my pump.
Put that pump in the truck.
So
you're looking for a paddleboard pump?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it has any attachments. Because you know how you
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, the one we use is a
It's
big
not that.
No.
What's this race for?
Stand-up paddleboard race. USA National Championship.
It's a national championship?
Well, we've never had one before. Yeah, it's for the next 3 days. There's a 5K tomorrow and a 10K. You should do it out of Alameda Bay Yacht Club.
Oh, out of what yacht club?
Alameda Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, you're not.
It feels like it. So loud.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, have a good day. Good luck. I hope somebody has one.
But also like cut it off on the board. So it's just like where? Right. You know what we might why don't you try unplugging the cables from and seeing what still comes through? Because if we unplug all the night cables and then slowly start plugging stuff back in, you can find where it's picking it up. I unplugged this right now.
But then like one guy, well no, that's fine. Like there is somebody who didn't get a second chance. I thought everybody was going to get twice, but the bigger heats.
Bigger heat, yeah. He came over and talked to us.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
So that was my mistake. I said everybody was.
What time can we do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so in 20 minutes.
yeah. Mike King's camcorder.
Tell Robert I took care of all. I have the list.
I'm not sure how you.
Hey, Levi.
Yeah.
Levi, can we use the DSLR to shoot the announcers and then just take this off?
Yeah. No, Levi was just
No, that turns off after 2 seconds. We have to use the camcorder.
frankly just moved it.
We haven't been using it. Yeah.
And the green flag.
Yeah, because it over the mic. It's like one of those.
I just tried muting it again.
Actually, that's a good thing to do. Yeah, for sure.
So if there are no objections, we're going to move the boards down here where we have a PA.
Oh. Yeah. And we made a mistake. This whole thing was supposed to be at the finish line, so we set it up and the finish line was at the finish line.
It's definitely louder over by this camcorder. You can hear everything we're saying, right?
Yes, so I need to get all this done.
We're all gathered around here.
So we don't need switches like this table could have been moved.
Stuff the mic jack and unplug the mic. See if that shows it.
Yeah, so I'm
Big brain, yeah, big brain Alex.
without a table. I mean, you ended up standing there.
Yeah, I was just standing.
Wow, how is my phone still on? This app must keep my phone awake.
I might steal this table since
I can hear Kristen over there. Fascinating.
Is it good? I think we figured it out.
I don't know.
So we could probably just move that table just forward a bit in front of the team.
Alright. This is like an amazing Yeah, I'm standing right next to the camcorder right now talking, so.
Evidently, we're having personal talk bleed through. So
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
is it still bleeding through now, or?
I don't know how something.
Yeah. So I'm talking over here now in front of the mic. You should be hearing more mic.
I have that mic turned off.
No, this one.
So whatever you can hear is our
Okay, yeah,
culprit.
if you hear anything, it's going to be the culprit because everything's turned off.
I wonder if it's the mic on the laptop.
There's no. I already muted this.
Okay.
And I have crosstalk turned off.
You just heard Harrison? Sure. Clearly? It's got to be the laptop. Here,
How?
Tap the laptop again, just like do like a little like tap Levi, you know, with fingernails.
Get the table so we can get the podium picture. So what do you think you guys like for podium angles stuff?
I would ask the photographer.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm talking into the mic, and we'll be coming back soon anyways. I think what we do is we just sort of make the entire tent a live mic. Can you hear Levi now?
Is it the camera shotgun?
Okay, well, it's me sitting in front of the camera talking, and the mic is now hot, so you should hear me. Buffering. Wow, I heard Harrison so clearly. Okay, I think what we do is we maybe just triage and reset a little bit so that the commentating's going on wherever the culprit is.
Are we live?
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you might be. I do too. Yeah, we think it's the laptop. Okay, so we'll turn the laptop into we'll just gather. Levi will be like, we'll make a Levi sandwich at the laptop. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. But however, Levi, he's like, yeah, clear as day. Clear as day. I mean, honestly, okay, cool. You know what? We'll take advantage of it. All right, we'll solve for it and get going again. Thanks, man. All right, bye. Okay. So the laptop will not be overcome. Now I wonder what I said. Nothing bad, but so I think maybe we just reposition a little bit. So
You gonna interview us?
Why not?
All right.
Yeah, get right up on that mic.
Yeah.
Larry Adam Tischler. Nice
Hi,
to meet you in
Larry.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm just.
All right. Hey, have you been out on course yet today?
No, I haven't. I'm here just to volunteer.
Just volunteer. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What are the primary missions that you've been given so far?
We're working at the starting line, make sure everybody's lined up properly in their lanes and they're here, and who doesn't start, we can cross out so that they have a good find at the finish line.
All right.
So they're not looking for someone who hasn't started.
What is the vibe at the start line?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Palpable tension?
Oh, yeah. But older, they're a little easier.
But that last heat
was very
longer.
tight, yes.
I saw nothing easy about that.
No, but they're all talking about